Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to coverage of the PBO. Sorry. In this video, we have the recap for Week 1 matchup. We're gonna be doing a little bit of a live reaction to these, rather than like an in-depth breakdown, just because most of these coaches, being in the experience league, know what they're doing. Also, I don't feel necessarily that I'm the type of person to critique the teams heavily or anything like that. I might call out a couple plays where I would like to see something, but I think that would be fun to do more of a live reaction, just so I can, get my thoughts on the spot. Throw my compliments. Maybe throw a thought and like what kind of would go on through my head while mid game, things like that. So, without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get straight into the first battle. First up, we have the Marble Fall Miniers, which is the team on the top right, versus the Worcester Whoopers. They're on the bottom left. So just looking at these teams very quickly. Sorry, I had to open up a tab. Let me full screen here. So looking at the teams really quickly, it looks like the Marble Fall Miniers bring Shiftry, which I believe is one of the Terra Captains. Charizard is also a Terra Captain, if I'm not mistaken. Rubber Room, Walking Wake, Screamtail, and Ursulina Blood Moon. Whereas the Whoopers bring Great Tusk, Florges, Rotom Wash, Alolan Persian, which I believe is a Terra Captain for them. Jirachi and Dirge. Now, looking at the matchup really quickly, no Sun on Marble Falls. This is interesting. They have a couple Sun Sweepers. I believe they have Ninetales on their roster. You have Ninetales on the roster, so probably not to bring Sun, which I guess makes sense also, just to not boost up. The Great Tusk. Overall, I do like. Very bulky also from the Marble Falls side with Tail and Blood Moon. Um, for the side of the Whoopers, I think my only like complaint with the Whoopers team is I wish Dirge was their Terra Captain instead of Version. They're just so good with Terra. Um, like a Terra, like looking at this team, like a Terra Water goes kind of nuts. Barring anything, Shiftry, but even then, like Shiftry. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. So go ahead and just hit play. So turn one leads. Jirachi versus Wake. Jirachi probably gonna get rocks up. Nice little knockoff from the Walking Wake. Wake expecting a switch, just double knockoffs into a wish from Rachi. Good surf, body slam, gets the para instantly. And just heals right back up. You see lefties on the Wake and is forced to switch. Get the double into Persian as the default comes off. Great knockoff by the Whoopers. The parting shot back into Rachi. And eats that Blood Moon relatively well. Rachi's probably like the best switch into the Blood Moon. Let's get some recovery with Drain Punch. Or something is starting to call Mind up. And double Blood Moon's expecting maybe a switch. Ooh, we have Trailblaze technology. Hold on. Blood Moon is so chunks, but that call mine not enough to save it. Okay, so we're back into Shiftry. I don't know if he had Earth Power in the set. I don't feel like there was ever a downsizing to Earth Power. I guess maybe fearing the Rotoms to switch in earlier. But we'll see. We'll see kind of the thought process. So Shiftry comes back in, really doesn't want these rocks up. Just defaults again as Persian sets off a T-Wave. And then fires off an energy ball. At this point, judging by the team, by Shiftry not terraing, which I believe is a Terra Captain, looks like Charizard is the Terra choice, for the game. Screamtail's gonna fire off a T-Wave as Florge sets up. Gets Encored into Calm Mind. Forced to switch into Dirge. Great Baton Pass. Knowing that the floor just had to hard switch. Here comes back to Wake as floor just comes in. Wake always has to out go guard here. To take the Moonblast. Pair of fires immediately. Fire Blast is gonna hurt 32%. Floor just gonna get that all back with the though. Ooh, Scream still coming back in. Try to punish like maybe like a Wish Protect. Still just gonna Wish up on its own. Here comes Jirachi. I'm still just gonna stay in and T wave this thing. Doesn't want this thing causing any more trouble. So this rocks go back up. Shift G is gonna come back in to defog those away. It eats a fat Drain Punch and gets parried. That's quite unfortunate. Shift G still its role this week is clearly just a defog as Jirachi continues to fire off Drain Punches. Now, have we seen this thing's entire set? So no Iron Head. But I'm assuming Scream Tail doesn't have a way to wait. Yeah, Scream Tail is full support, no offensive. So it just kind of forced to take the hit and out. But back in comes Charizard. For taking rocks damage. Rotom switches Fire Blast. I don't think Charizard has anything. Rotom forces back in against Scream Tail, who is just full switch at this point. Since Luna is gone. Scream Tail just throwing around paralysis. But how far is that gonna get him? Great Hex here. No, it was just aimed at the Scream Tail, but to get that extra damage and wait as a flip off. In comes Rubber Room, the balloon. I'm assuming if he has shift gear, now's the time to go for it. But just ends up toxing. Just the balloon and surge pretty much for free. As for Rubber Room, it's just gonna parting shot out. Back into so. Yeah, I don't see an out for Marble Falls at this point. Like, yeah, Screamtail's just wishing and T waving this entire team, but um, like he break the defense. Uh, nice wish into Zard. Zard back up to full strategy. Just fire move. Not 23% Rotom, but did back healed up with. So yeah, looks like it's just gonna be how long can Marble Falls just keep alive. Um, now that Screamtail's paired. Thunder Wave. What did he Thunder Wave predicting? Like you already para. Why would he Thunder? I guess he doesn't have another move. Like obviously he can't attack, but like there was no point in Thunder Waving on the Rotom. Everything is paralyzed already. And Rotom already has Toxic. Great Tusk can't be status. A T Wave. The Hex. The trip down the Rubber Room. High Horsepower comes out. So they're that pretty well. Wake. But yeah, Rotom is just always there. That's 34%, so it is a good chip. It would go down to Toxic, but yeah, I think it really just a matter of all time before Marble Falls can runs out of things to hit with. And now Great Test with a Proto Speed. Unfortunately, is wasted on the Charizard switch in. As Charizard goes for an overheat. I don't know that you needed to go Florges or Rachi there, but I guess at this point you have pretty much control of the game. Great Test is gonna outspeed pretty much the entire team thanks to the para. Um didn't sack the floor just here to the Fire Blast. Second one did the job. So we have a couple KOs coming back from Marble Falls, but it looks like he knows that he can take at least Fire Blast. Shift 3, probably try to Leaf Blade. Goes to the second. And we see the Terra Dark from Persian. This should pretty much be game from here. Walking away to finish off the team, and it can't break off. Can't break them. So GG's to both teams. The Whooper's core proving too tough to handle or too tough to break for um the Miniors. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think like any comments I have, I feel like Marble Falls they brought a good team, but I feel like they just kind of played safe a lot. Like you always know that I guess Charizard. What was Charizard's moveset? Hold on, back to the end. Charizard has 3 fire moves. Um, I don't know that he needed 3 fire moves on Charizard. I guess like Flamethrower to not miss, Fire Blast for higher damage, Overheat for higher damage, but I don't know. I feel like the Charizard set was kind of weird. In my opinion. Just I'm just looking at it, just trying to think. Maybe like I feel like Shift Gear River Room could have gone crazy a little bit. But I guess he didn't bring it. Walking Wake. Yeah, I'm not sure. Scream Tail definitely being fodder. Doesn't really help. Just 'cause obviously it can't attack. Once everything was parried, all Scream Tail was doing was pretty much just delaying the matchup. Um, so maybe a misplay and overprediction, but I feel like Whoopers had pretty much control of the match pretty early on. Um, Especially once Blood Moon got taken out, like there was very little um the Minions could do to break. So from that point on, they just kind of played the safe switches. Minions weren't predicting very much. And just controlled the game, played that very well. So GG's for the first match. That is gonna end in a 4-0 for the Hoopers. So next up, we have a really interesting matchup between, I believe, the New York Knicks and the Frederick Clefleys. Let's see here. So I believe the Clefkeys are the team on the top right. And the Knicks are the team on the bottom left. So looking at the matchup here, let's see. We have from the side of the Cliff we have Clefable, Garchomp, Heatran, which is a fantastic core. Greninja, Serena, and brings the coughing. Interesting. I never thought he'd bring the coughing, but he brings the coughing. We'll see how much work it puts in. From the side of the Nickets, we have Electros, we have Hydreigon, Ogerpon Water, or Wellspring. Uh, what's that? Galeria and Weezing. Or it's not Armor Rouge. What's its name? Why can't I think of its name? Hold on. What's the other one? Why do I forget this Pokemon? So Cerulege. And again, I can't pronounce this thing. What's Tatsugiri? I can just cover the names. It says it literally on the right side, and I can't read. Anyway, so interesting matchup. I feel. Let's see. Electric with Coil could kind of be a problem. If it gets set up a little bit. But Hydreigon also looks scary if it's like maybe Specs. Overcome Wellspring with Ivy Cudgel looks pretty strong. Obviously has Serena probably has the check for that. Cerulege with a maybe like a weakness policy weak armor set could be kind of crazy. I'm not sure what the Nuggets brought. for that. Looking at the Clef Key side, um, coughing for MVP, I guess. Greninja, if it has Battle Bond, could go kind of nuts. Let's see if it um has that water move, probably it's a water move plus ice beam plus maybe bunk shot for ogre pond question mark. Maybe like a mixed ninja with battle bond could be cool. But we'll see. We'll try. We'll let the coaches and the battle tell us the story. So let's get into the match 2. I turn off the music because it's super loud. So we see an Electros lead, and an immediate Terra from Greninja as they go for a U-turn. They are Terra Poison as Electros goes for Dragon Pulse, maybe trying to catch the Garchomp in, predicting an Electric type move. This works out incredibly well for the Clef Keys as they get up their rocks. Heatran probably forcing out. Yep, aiming to force out the Weezing as they throw in the double. T-Wave is huge onto Ogerpon. And we see the coughing switch into the Ogerpon. That does 0. I guess it's a resisted hit and probably Eviolite. Oh my god, hold on. It's like that, huh? I mean, it's a like it's 58%, but it's a coughing. Oh my. 58% with gong shots. I guess it's I mean it's also Tatsugiri, but it's still a coughing. Is gonna go ahead and double out and take a surf with the Clefable. Forcing out the Tatsu as Clefable up. We do see Black Sludge on the Weezing as Heatran just comes back in. Toxic Spikes are gonna go up. Weezing using Protect Scout. It is neutralizing gas. So that is free. Electro coming in, trying maybe to take another Earthquake as they just go for Body Press. Great damage. Once out. In comes Tatsugiri and Surf. Is it Magic Guard? It is not. It is Unaware Clef. Which I guess is good info to know. They are just gonna heal back up. With that Toxic Poison. Ogerpon comes in and just goes for U-turn again. As we see the coughing come back in. Still wants to keep the coughing around. As Heatran comes in and eats up a Flash Cannon. A lot of switches being made. Knowing the Tatsugiri is coming back in, the Clefable is the choice as it goes for another T-Wave. But Ogerpon just comes in as that T-Wave fodder. Gets parried, so can't U-turn out. We are probably going to see another Gunk Shot, but Terra Steel Hydreigon is a great switch in for that. And we do see another Flash Cannon. That special defense drop is massive, as Serena is not going to be able to live a second. Back in comes Heatran. So at this point, it is likely that Hydreigon is either Specs or Scarf. Just based on the fact that it's not switching, it easily Earth Power the Heatran. Heatran is gonna catch the Electros on the switch and that out with the Body Press. So we are tied game. Tatsugiri comes back out, which forces in Pomp this time. To take the Surf. Going a little bit more aggressive from the Clef Keys, which is cool. We do show a Citrus Berry and it does take the spikes as we do see an SD come off. As well. It's an Iron Head Opsnot for the Earthquake, and the Strange Steam misses. That actually matters because now, I was gonna say now Chump can just straight up kill the Weezing, but he opts to go for the Fire effect. Maybe predicting Hydreigon coming in. Trying to come in on the Iron Head. I don't know why. I guess you don't Earthquake because Levitate in Hydreigon, but yeah, I don't know why you don't just double Iron Head. I guess we're trying to make the prediction. But Strange Team is gonna knock it out now. The first one missing does suck just because it does take that extra damage. The Weezing is gonna be fodder, and realistically that fodder is gonna be for Greninja. So we do see that this is physical grunt, it looks like. So U-turn liquidation, since it's Terra Poison, probably Gunk Shot. And then fourth move. We'll see what that fourth move is. Um, but we do see the liquidation come off. We see the protect. Is I wonder if he's gonna stay freezing to prevent the battle bond boost. Oh, okay. So Terra Blast, probably in place of Gunk Shot. We do see the battle bond boost. Hydreigon coming in is gonna take the low kick and it is gonna go down. Let's see. Looking at the right side of the screen, it looks like 50% chance to kill, calc it, roll, 62% chance to die, go follow up hit. Wow, that's crazy. This was a roll on the low kick. That's actually insane. But Gren putting in the work. Terror Blast. It looks like Gren just cleans up here. Tatsugiri is not gonna take a Terror Blast. And then Cerulege does not take a liquidation. So that game could have gone anywhere. But the fact that that battle band boost and I guess the roll on the Hydreigon is actually massive. Because if a Hydreigon lives, um, if Hydreigon lives, maybe there's a chance that it can work. Let me look at the right side of the screen of the chat. Was Heatran Shuka? Heatran was. Oh, I guess not. Never mind. Uh, I mean, the issue is like, what do you go into? I mean, I guess if you knew it, a Terra Blast was coming, you make the Hydreigon play. Because at that point, low kick would not KO. But it's so hard to like you don't have a safe switch in this. I don't know. I think yeah, that's a tough call. I mean, it's a tough call to predict that the Gren is gonna Terra Blast instead of like liquidation. Um, but even then, I guess if you like if you were like maybe liquidation, I guess it doesn't matter because you can't go Ogre Pawn because obviously Terra Blast poison KOs it. So yeah, that was a super, I guess super good on the Clef Key size to realize that they can just really Terra Blast because they I guess they assumed that Hydreigon wouldn't switch in on a poison move or doesn't want to take the chip damage from the water move. Um, but very good match. Another 4-0 this week. So this week looking like the 4-0 matches. But let's go ahead and get on into the next battle. So next up here we have it looks like the Vancouver Valiants, which is the Kingston Shadows. The Kingston Shadows are the team on the top right, bringing on Quavo, Klefki, Slowking, Lando, T, Mischievous, and Excalibur. The bottom left team is the Valiant team with the mascot Iron Valiant, Galarian, Slowbro, Arcanine, Empoleon, Salamence, and Driftblim. So we got Slowking versus Glowbro in this matchup. Looking at the teams, Valiant has like coverage for Orlando. It could be it could have put in a lot of work between like I don't know if it runs physical or mix, but like Spirit Break plus close combat plus I don't know if it gets Ice Punch plus fourth coverage move kind of goes insane. Um, let's see, Glowbro. I feel like it has a little bit of a harder time since both Keys and Lando are here, but I guess you could probably work around it. Arcanine I feel doesn't have the best matchup. Like just looking at what was brought. Empoleon, I don't know. We'll see. Looking on Kingston side, back's always a scary. Especially with a slow boost. If it jets up a Dragon Dance, it could be quickly out of hand. Same thing with Quavo. If it gets a Moxie plus an Aqua Step, it can get quickly out of hand. Just because Empoleon doesn't really check it. Your only real check to this is Glowbro. In my opinion. But we'll see. Let's get straight up into the matchup here. So leads. We do see an Empoleon lead versus a Lando lead. Probably just trying to trade rocks. We do see an immediate U-turn from the Lando, expecting to switch out as Empoleon just stays in and goes for a Surf. Just do some okay damage to Glowbro, but it can just chill your reception and heal that back up. We do see a Quavo comeback coming in, probably to spin, knowing that there's going to be a switch. But actually just raw close combat. But it's gonna be forceless switch here. This Klepke comes out. We see a double into Driftblim, and then Klefki's gonna start setting up spikes as we see a T wave come off. It is Hex T wave, which is a nice set. Let's see. So Klefki is down at half. We're just gonna see another double hex from Driftblim as rocks go up for the side of Kingston. Strength Sap is nice to weaken that and force it out. Drifloon does just go for the defog, does get rid of his own hazards that he already set up, but Exchange gets rid of the ones inside. We are going to see some more T-Wave hex shenanigans, and another full para is unfortunate. Trevor's going to come in, take another hex, and it is going to set up a Swords Dance, as this Drifloon is putting work, man. Between Strength Sap, T-Wave keeping things, in check. Gets up held up to full. Strength up again. Just keeps healing this thing up to full. Knockoff. Oh, that's a massive crit. I feel that crit definitely mattered. Now this, but it is just gonna get traded back though. Thanks to the paralysis from the Drifloom, Arcanine can just get back in Psychic Fangs. Lando comes in, probably gonna try to Earthquake or set up rocks. Goes for the Stone Edge. Great read going for the Stone Edge. We are gonna see Glowbro come in. Next one. As Slow King comes out, we do see a Flamethrower, probably expecting to come back in. Opting to Psychic. This war is likely won by Slow King here, just because of the Scald is doing more. Slowbro can dish out. I think the Slowbro's goal is just to keep this thing low. Something original, but again, it can just switch out. Double para is unfortunate. It's just going to continue to Psychic, maybe trying to fish for a Sped F chop as we see another para. My gosh, the paras have been insane. We do end up seeing the slack off on the Slow King, forcing the switch. It can break. It does get hit with a fourth paralysis and does chilling resumption out. Here comes in Mischievous. Is going to fire off a Will-O-Wisp. But it is special Empoleon, so it's not gonna, make too big of a difference. As we do see the Calm Mind start to set up. Crit through the Calm Mind is unfortunate. But I guess that's kind of how the game is. You see another Surf, and then it is gonna take out the Mischievous. This game is far from over. We see Arcanine switch in with Earthquake. Probably just best to let Empoleon go down, but I guess you don't want it to get a free Dragon Dance up. See the close comment from Arcanine. Does it have E-Speed? It does not look like it has extreme speed on the Arcanine. As we are gonna see just a U-turn from the Landorus. If he stays in there and hits it again, that would have been big ball plays. Salamence comes in on the back switching, but we do see the Ice Shard is going to up. Intimidate comes off. There goes Bax. It's just invites. Oh, it goes Slowking this. I would say it's just a bit slam. But we do see the Slow King come in. As Empoleon is gonna go down to a turn. Arcanine comes back in. Is this thing ended at this point? We see a crunch plus defense drop. Slow King is just gonna go ahead and fire off his call to kill a KO. Gunlight comes in. We see a booster speed as the Leno just gets sacked to Leno just gets sacked to the rocks. Left keys unfortunately gets parried as Valence go in, hitting the double Thunder Punch. It did get lagging tailed. Looking is going to try to slack off. We do see a double Thunder Punch. Is it going to be enough though? Slowking with the Skull is going to take out Valiant, and it's Glowbro versus Slowking. Glowbro having the benefit of the health as well as the paralysis on his side, which is continuing to fire on the Slowking. It doesn't look like he has recovery. Does he have recovery? I guess that's the biggest question. Does Slowbro have recovery? Because yeah, it can bring down the Slow King and another unfortunate para. But it just didn't get this health back. How many slack offs does it have? So that's 4. So could it be Pete stalling? Uh, Slowbro is down to its last few psychics. Trying to fish for maybe another Spadef drop. It is gonna keep psychicking, so that tells me that this thing recovery. 3% psychics again, and Slow King pulling off the miracle. Oh my. Oh, he was AV. That makes sense, but oh my. Kingston with a beautiful comeback to end that turn. Knowing that the Globro is AV now makes sense why it couldn't have for the recovery. Um, I'm assuming Arcanine was banded. Based on how he couldn't switch its moves. So the Valiant, the lagging to the Prankster lagging tail was really good for the Valiant. It lets Slowking do its thing and finish the job. Overall, really good match. This is gonna just end in a 1-0 for the Shadows. I don't have anything really to add on to this one. I think both teams played extremely well, and it really came down to the para turns and lack of recovery. Right. That's the game we play. Looks like Slow King didn't get paired when it mattered, so I guess that's the saving grace for the Kings Shadows for this match. Okay, moving on to, I believe this is our 4th match. So this is actually my match versus the Suicunes. So I have uploaded my side of this battle, so we're not gonna go super in depth to this one. I'm just gonna watch it. I'll make a couple comments of like misplays I had or things I could have done better. But I opted to bring Corviknight, Mamoswine, Lycanroc Dusk, Gudra, Goldfish, and Meloetta. My opponent opted to bring Fion, Cinderace, the Cresselia, Bellibolt, Garganacl, and Articuno. So I was super surprised to see the Articuno come initially, just because Lycanroc exists. I was going to initially lead Lycanroc, but then I thought he might lead like Cinderace, which is why I wanted to lead Goldfish. Um, Also, this Cresselia set, I forgot in the moment of team building that Cresselia got Thunderbolt. Foolish me. So I thought it to be Terra Electric. And then my Gudra, I didn't see Fion coming at all. My set was just kind of just to stall out the Crest, which unfortunately I couldn't do. Over here, I'm trying to predict that my opponent's gonna set up with Take Heart, just because that was kind of free, so I opted for the taunt. And this is just me kind of switching around. Um, Although unfortunately, I did not have Thunderbolts on. Had I had Thunderbolts on, would have been probably a lot different. We see the Terra Fairy on Celia. Realistically, I probably just could have set up alongside it. Um, I should have just set up alongside it just because um Shelba has the chance to like lower Spadef and stuff like that, and maybe I could break through it that way and stall out its healing moves. But I opted just to go for the poison. Here's where I realized I made the mistake and realized that Crest has Thunderbolt. Here as well, I bring in Mamoswine. I went for the Heavy Slam. I should have had Iron Head in retrospect, just because I knew Sylveon had a tough time coming to the game. And then this following turn, I always should have Earthquaked instead of Trailblazed, um, just to get as much damage on. Good. In comes the Articuno. As I just spam psychics, it is gonna get up a lot. And at the point, it also is pretty free to Bruce. I try setting up with my Calm Minds again. As Ace comes in, goes for a U-turn. Here, I also misplayed because I should have never let this, do damage to my lower like that. When Bullfish, intimidates and takes 0. But I'd made that choice in the moment, and I regretted it immediately. At that point, I was 1 mon down. I was trying to make a play. Here again, I just let what I go down. Lycanroc, I close combat expecting a switch on the Accel Rock. Garganacl comes in and just Sulk here. So here's I switched predicting the Earthquake as I roost up. I am covert on Corviknight just so now I don't get Sulkied. As we do see a curse, I was going to set up for Iron Defense. As honestly, after the +3 or the +4 Iron Defense, I should have started body pressing um earlier. Because it comes like now belly bolt and Volta's gonna come off and like then the race just comes at that point. So I make my Quillfish play, which I should have done earlier. We take a Pyro Ball, okay, as we see the U-turn. Here, I don't think I had. Oh, I did flip turn. So Lycanroc comes back in. Always just set the thing with as hard as I can. We do get the. Oh, I just read battle. Let's skip ahead. So here, uh, the way this thing came in, I should have realized this thing always has Sucker Punch. I almost put Sucker Punch instead of Crunch on my own Lycanroc, just because the way Sucker Punch works is because I'm technically slower. My Sucker Punch goes first, I believe. How that works. So I almost brought Sucker Punch to deal with it, but because I was -1 and because of the Life Orb damage, Sucker Punch KO'd me. I had just gone for this Rock. And then at this point, once Lycanroc was done, there was like literally what I could do. Like I was trying to rack up toxic damage here, but again, Chris can always just heal up. And it can always you can always heal up to reset the toxic. And it can just get off. Here I was surprised to see they let it go down, but at this point it doesn't need it. Incineration cleaned the last 2 Pokemon I have. Pretty much they opt to turn here. Those a good chunk and go into Fion. I didn't have Barbarage on my Quillfish, which I originally had. I thought just make sure they don't up, but at that point, with how low both of my Pokemon are, like it didn't need to set up. It just kind of wrapped up. So, couple you my opponent, great. Full credit to my opponent. They brought a good team. They built very well. I think on my end, I just tried to overpredict a little too much. But that's the game. Not much else to say on that one. Move on. The next match we have is the Abbotsford Agrons versus the Scarborough Subtiles. So the team on the top right, I believe, is double check is Agrons. They opt to bring the Annihilape, the Delphox, Samurai Isui, Cyclozar, Gastrodon, and Berserker. On the side of the Reptiles, they opt to bring Ditto, Roaring Moon, Enamorous, Fortress, Neasel, and Dragalge. So we're gonna look at the Aggron side first. So, Annihilape always super scary with Rage Fist. Takes repeated hits. Good. Also a fantastic spin blocker. For his team, Delphox and Terra is fantastic in my opinion. Terra Fire is super hard to switch into. I believe they also have Fairy and Grass. Fairy is also just a great great typing for Delphox. Samurott. If it gets a couple of Ceaseless edges up, I can see like Delphox or Ape putting in work. Gastro, I guess just bulky. Cycles are there to keep rocks. Berserker, I'm not too sure what Berserker does. I know, with Steel Spirit it can hit kind of hard, but it's kind of cool. So we'll see what play is there. Ditto here is great just to, copy any setup and turn that. Also if it transforms into like a Samurott, that could be nice just to get your off your own list. Instead of hazards on your opponent's side. Roaring Moon is a just strong threat with knockoff now. Enamorous, if it's like the contrary superpower set, it could get relatively out of hand. Looking at his team, obviously like if it's like mixed, Ape doesn't switch well into it. Again, nothing wants to take a superpower out of his team outside of like again Ape, but it doesn't list. Um, I'm not too sure how much. Fortress is probably just here to keep hazards off or maybe set them. Sneasel maybe just to spam knockoff, and then Dragalge as. I guess your Galgi with like flip turn could be kind of nice. And spam Dracos. He doesn't have a fairy type. Or he didn't bring in a berry type. Until we see what Delphox Rastalizes into. So, let's see how this game goes. Again, I forget to turn off the music. Ups for the Enamorous lead. Enamorous is not scared of the Berserker. It's gonna go ahead as just straight Earth Power. That was a roll, so we don't even see the Terra on the Delphox. Delphox is just gone. Turn one. So we do see Samurai come in, Aqua Carter as Fortress is just gonna spread some paralysis. A lot of T waves this week. It's gonna rapid spin early. It's gonna try to rapid spin again, but Ape just free. We are gonna see a ton from Ape, so it can't wave. So if do anything attack, Ice Spinner is just gonna boost those range fist. So Annihilate already up to 150 base power on the range fist. I'm pretty sure Fortress dies turn potentially. No, it doesn't. Forced into Ice Spinner, so 200 base power range fist is insane right now. It's gonna opt to Drain Punch just to get recovery. But I keep getting boost to that rage. So Annihilate wants to be as stealthy as it can. But here comes in and out and Berserker, which for a resisted hit does not take that very well. Likely Specs and Amorous potentially, but judging by how it did in Earth Power, the second time. We are gonna see you rest on the Dragalge. Rest Sleep Talk. Yes, it is. Pleasure Bump is unfortunate. Berserkers could just kind of free to stay here. You're gonna see the next Sleep Talk. Unfortunately, gets another rest as Berserker. Continues to turn head. Wonder what. Oh no! I guess it doesn't matter. But not being able, like, forgetting your sleep turns. Um, gets a little lucky with the paralysis, but I guess it doesn't. In comes the Annihilate. And because of the taunt, it can't talk. So Rage is just gonna that thing. Um. Oh my god! Wait, does Ditto copy Rage Fist damage too? It has to, right? That's that's the only thing that makes sense because otherwise that doesn't do that much. Oh my, that's a lot. Cyclosaur is gonna come in. Oh, has attack overheat like that. So knocked off the what was it? The Eagle. Roaring Moon is gonna come back just in with a proto speed and just start firing off Dragon Claws though.
We do see the sacred sword from the Samurott. I was just gonna go ahead and transform into it. Uh, is gonna go for the prediction aerial ace. Oh my! Think. But like at this point, isn't Emrys enough to KO the rest of the team? Oh, he's. Oh, it's not Scarf Ditto. Ooh, wait. Oh no, he got knocked. He got knocked. He got knocked. Why would you knock off? The aerial ace here was fantastic. That was a great prediction. Why do you knock off here? Aerial ace does nothing to you, and you can just Ironhead. Are you predicting the Emrys to come in? But yeah, knocking off the scarf actually is massive because now this thing is free to. Here's a sacred sword. It's a speed tie now. Wins the speed tie. Ooh. Embers is the earth power here. Oh. Wait. It's Scarf's Samurott. Okay, so it was never a speed tie. Oh, I guess the knockoff blade kind of makes sense then because you don't want it to be a speed tie, so you knock off sack the Gastrodon, and then you're guaranteed faster with your own Scarf Samurott. Okay. All right, that's some fire. That's a fire way to play around that. It looked like after the knockoff, if your samurai wasn't scarfed, you leave that up to his potential speed, which is crazy. But that's gonna end in a 2-0 in favor of the Agrons. What a game! What a game! We had some bold predictions. Delphox going down early was super unfortunate. Um, I feel like it might have been Terra Fire, which is why they probably didn't Terra, just because it might have been. But like, I don't know. I feel like anyway. I mean, what are you such into on the internet? But super well played. Um, by both sides. That was a really fun match to watch. Um, yeah, that's it for that one. We're gonna go ahead and go on to our next match. Now I'm just gonna break the fourth ball, check real quick. Okay, we have two more matches to go. Next one up, have the Charleston Chestnuts versus who is their opponent? Chestnuts versus the New York Malamars. So, the Nuts, uh, or the team on the bottom left, they have opted to bring Dragapult, Poliwrath, Thunderous, Incarnate, um, Hippowdon, Tinkaton, and Metacham. Looking at at their opponents, the New York Malamars, they bring Meowscarada, Alomomola. They bring Knacklestack, Scissor, Iron Moth, and Weavile. So, uh, looking at this, that their team's mascot are kind of goes in, with a combination of like Flower Trick, Sucker Punch, kind of hits the bulky side and gets rid of Bolt. Aloe I think is great defensively here. Um, Not sure. I think looking at the matchup, little baby Garganackle or Knackle Stack doesn't most. I can kind of check maybe Landorus or not Landorus, Thunderous. Um, Weavile if it's like Scarf could be cool. I guess it doesn't need to be Scarf, but like Scarf knockoff into Hulk could be cool. Ice Move is free. Iron Moth like game one, maybe like Hippo is gone and maybe gone. Could be insane. Looking at the side of um Chestnuts, Pulp, arguably one of the best Pokemon in the draft, is always insane. I wonder if they opted for mixed physical or special. Poliwrath, no rain. I'm not sure what it does outside of there to check Aloe potentially, and maybe like it can deal with little Garganacci. Uh, If it's Scarf Thunderous with like Sludge Wave, it could kind of like good coverage moves. Thunderbolt, Sludge Wave. Um, I don't know what else he would bring. Hippo just super bulky. Tinkaton. I don't know what Tinkaton does. I guess it deals with File. And then Medicaid with Pure Power can hit pretty hard. Again, we'll see how these coaches play the match. So we do see a Tinkaton into a Meowscarada lead. Meowscarada is just going to immediately go for the U-turn, a little bit of tip into Aloe. We do see a Gigaton Hammer come off on the Masquerada comes in, takes a Thunder Wave, which is unfortunate for Masquerada, and then gets full parried as well. That's fortunate. It's gonna go ahead and just set up spikes. As the Tinkaton will claim the first KO. In comes Iron Moth early. We do see Quark Drive with the booster attack. Hippowdon comes in as it does set up for a substitute. So that's super scary. We do see a Fiery Dance. Is it gonna get a special attack raise? It is. But we do see the Whirlwind, which kind of negates everything that I wanted in there. Weavile comes in. Tinkerton comes in to take Ice Spinner. We do see the switch to Aloe, which is gonna take a Para or a T-Wave. Tinkerton is just free to knock off. Gets rid of the helmet. Does right. Curtain. So in comes Moth again. Probably trying to Fire Dance again. Um, the switch isn't going to be Poliwrath to eat that. Force back into Aloe as we Earthquake. A double Earthquake as we see Aloe comes in and is going to take a knockoff. Its choice span is gone. That's actually some. Oh my, that's a resisted hit. That still does 33%. That's insane. Offensive Scissor. We see the Weavile come in, and then comes into Ice Spinner. Aloe is Thunderous Switch. Great predictions from the side of the Chestnut so far. We see a Volt Switch to get Hippo in front of Berganacci deck. We're gonna see the Salt Cure and the Terra Fairy come off from the Knuckle stack. We do see the Slack off from the side of Powdon and Iron Defense come off. Iron Defense recover. Whirlwind comes out. That was expected. Iron Moth comes in. Does not appreciate taking self-rock damages. As we see a Fiery Dance, I'm assuming. Oh, Hippo just goes straight for the Earthquake. So that's another threat down. Here comes Scissor. It's just gonna up to let the Powdon go down. I don't think it feels. Terrify. Oh my, Terrify Metacham nukes the Scissor there. We do see Garganackle come in with of it. Tinkerton just Tinkerton's hammers though. Tinkerton hammers. So we see the knockoff. There goes to the Evia Light. Salt Cure is gonna come off. Tinkerton being Steel type is gonna take that. Firing off again. Hammer and full knuckle stack gets paralyzed. Nintendo goes down, but Thunder just comes in, hits it with a strong bolt. Salt Cure does it quite a bit. But Thunder is just gonna be able to that KO. In comes Aloe. I'm assuming Thunder is just Thunderous just wanted to take out the Aloe as we do see the Protect come off. Slowly but surely bringing this back. Head up to the Malamar. But we do see a Draco come off from Polt, and realistically, that's probably game. I don't see how Weavile breaks the combination of 4 Pokemon, of the remaining 3 Pokemon. But we do see the Swords Dance, so maybe I spoke too soon. Ice Spinner comes off, does not claim the KO. Drain Punch is going to go ahead and seal that. So it is going to end in a 3-0 in favor of Charleston. Really good match. I don't have too much to say about that one. Maybe letting Masquerada get paired on the side of the Malamar side. It's a little unfortunate. Just because you got it couldn't do much. It did set up a spike layer, but ultimately, fair enough. Maybe getting up two could have helped with the damage roll on the Holy Wrath. But that's the game we play, right? Um, and super entertaining battle that is going to be a 3-0 for Test Dots. So moving on to our final battle, we have last but not we have Alakazam's versus Warwalk Noivern. So the Alakazams are the team on the bottom left. They opt to bring the Electrode, um, Alolan Sandslash, Milotic, Galarian Slowking, uh, Tornadus T, and then Gliscor on the side of the Noivern. We see Alola Ninetales, Conkeldurr. We see Magnezone to Titan, Buck, and Haxorus. Looking at this thing, so Titan with potentially Belly Drum plus Lustrous is always a great threat. Conkeldurr super bulky. Veil kind of goes, supports the team well. On the side of the Noivern's, Magnezone could be kind of annoying. I think it does look like it gets walled by Gliscor though, a little bit. But we'll see. Muck just a super bulky, and then Haxorus could be a very strong sleeper with Dragon Dance here. On the side of the Alakazam's, Electrode being the fastest Pokemon in the game. Well, not in the game, but in the match. Outside of Snow. It's good. It brings Alola Slash to abuse his opponent's no, but he could set it up on his own with Shelly Reception. Melodic, if it's Flame Orb, it's super just bulky physically. Gonna be kind of tough to break it without Magnezone. King again, another Pokemon. And then forms a great pairing with the Regenerate Core with Torn. And then Gliscor, probably Gliscor as a hazard setter might be interesting. But again, we will shall see. So let's get straight into the final battle for week 1. As we are going to see an Electrode versus a Magnezone lead. Electrode is going to tear Electric immediately. That looks like spec damage to me into the Magnezone, as they are just going to trade Volt Switches. But Gliscor comes in freely to absorb that. Gets its Toxic Orb off, so they're going to be getting that Poison Heal residual. As Ninetales comes in, we do see the Veil come up. Conk is going to go ahead and switch in on the Sandslash's Iron Head. So it is Guts Flame Orb from Conk, as they're going to throw off a Defog, which gets rid of the rocks. Slowking comes in. Facade is great to chip that thing down. We are going to see a second get traded back, but Conk is free out again. Gliscor with the Poison Heal. See what he opts to go for. Goes for the Protect, actually. So maybe just to get another chip on Conk, just it could it would hurt it. This Titan's gonna come in, Belly Drum. Melodic is the switch in. We are gonna see this barrier come off. I wonder if Melodic has Roar or Haze. Fat Earthquake comes out. It does have the Roar and it lives on 3. Wait. No, it's not. It's not Roar. Hold on. That wasn't Roar. It's red card. Melodic lives on 3, forces the Titan out, and just recovers the damage. He had to know that that lived, and gets the recover off. The double recover here as the gunshot comes off from the muck. That was fantastic prep, bringing the red card Melodic in. That was some heat tech. Tornty is gonna come in on the Ninetales. Break that Aurora Veil off. As Ninetales goes for a freeze dry. Ninetales trying to go for the Encore here as Sanchez comes in. Now it doesn't want to stay in. Instead, as we do see Magnezone come in, I wonder if it's Magnet Pull. by how Sandslash was forced to stay in. I'm assuming it was. It is gonna take a huge body press, but it kills it with Earthquake, and Ice Shard does a lot to Hackshire. Was gonna get the skill shot off, so it is +1 speed now, but it isn't gonna break the melodic, which just goes for. So it's skill shots. It goes to the sword stance on the melodic. I guess I'm still thinking it doesn't have ice beam. Hmm. I mean, what's your switch in there? Maybe nine. I think you go nine tails. Like, yeah, why wouldn't you go nine tails? I don't know what. I don't think you ever search up on melodic like that with action. Um, but it goes down. I guess maybe think like trying to catch an over prediction, or like just trying to catch the prediction. But Torn is looking like it's assault vest based on the damage we've been seeing. Against tails. So Madonna comes in and it's just gonna sit on this muck. We're gonna see gunk shots fired off. They are doing 30%. No poison though. Skull comes off. My bad. All his gunk shots right now. Get a fourth. Damn, hits 4 in a row. That's actually kind of good. Skulls are gonna come off. This muck is. He's gonna just continue to gunk shot, but like my man's already fired off 7, 8 gunk shots, so he's at a gunk shot. And my like 8 all. We do see the Culver Berry from the Slow King, which is fantastic. Psychic comes off. He's gonna up to set up the T spikes as they tail trade to the veil. Horn Cake comes in. So with it being a Solvus, he can take it. Buck comes in to absorb the T spikes. But it doesn't get reliable recovery outside the punch. We get Ice Punch come off. Knockoff comes off, and the Muck goes down. Okay. Here comes the Titan. It is Terra Fire. Ops to Belly Jump. Again, a bold setups. I guess, like, I mean, what much else do you have? But, like, you're dying to attack anyway. Like, to an attack if you set up like that. I guess, you go for broke, I guess. But unfortunately, it's not going to matter at the end. Florida's going to clean up the batch. That is going to be a 5-0 for the reigning Unova champion and the Alakazams. So overall for this match, I mean, I think the only things I would question is just um, the time they chose to try to set up. Like Haxtra setting up on my logic, I mean, that never made any sense. I feel like it was kills. And I guess the second one, it's like you go for broke, I guess, but just because you were having a hard time breaking the CB anyway. But yeah, I guess that's the game. So to all the teams this week, we had some incredible matches. A lot of cool tech brought in as well. I think just to point out a couple favorites. The red card on the melodic, and I'm assuming he had to know that it left a +4 earthquake. Right? Because you never like unless it was a roll and he just got lucky and the recover was there just to if you lived you get HP back kind of thing. I haven't run the calc, so I'm not entirely sure. I think for one of my other favorite sets was the physical Greninja set winning crazy for the Clef Keys versus Nicket's game. I think those two were probably my favorite. My favorite set for the this week one. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little kind of like reaction and recap of the battles. I will have all the coaches who are posting content for the PBO in the description. Let me know what you guys thought of the video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. we will see you soon.